The Runaway Stagecoach. It's one of the movie's earliest stunts. Audiences have always loved it, but today they expect even bigger thrills. When Mel Gibson signed on to star in the comedy western Maverik, he wanted to make this runaway stage scene special. To devise the sequence, Mel counted on Maverik's stunt coordinator, Mick Rogers, his longtime double.
You can shoot this one tonight at dusk, and then you can turn around to this background tomorrow at night and cover it.
Mel and Mick first teamed up on the buddy cop thriller Lethal Weapon.
He said, "This guy's going to be your double." I looked at him, I thought, doesn't look anything like me, but all right. And, but the odd thing is, he's a great double. I don't understand that quite. It's like he gets the body language into it, all except his knees, which are shot.
Mick has taught Mel much of what he knows about stunt work. Their collaboration has enriched all three Lethal Weapon films and the Oscar-winning historical epic Braveheart.
He took me off my first high fall. Now, when I say high fall, for me it's high, but for a stunt guy it's not. It was 40 feet or something, which is, you know, that's plenty hefty if you've never done it before.
Mick and Maverik's director Richard Donner had worked together before on one of Mick's most memorable stunts. For the fantasy drama Radio Flyer, Mick coordinated a spectacular bicycle jump with veteran stuntman Doc Charbonneau. The scene, a flashback about flying, combined a 100-foot bicycle jump with a 70-foot drop.
It's where the kid rides the bike down the hill and off the barn into space trying to fly. And basically, it's like, as far as I know, it's the world's biggest bike jump.
The jump required a giant launch ramp and a huge landing pad, 150 feet long. Charbonneau had to get his bike up to 40 miles an hour to gain the momentum he needed.
It was huge. Dick Donner couldn't watch. He was just like, you know, tell me when it's done, you know.
The full end of the jump could easily be protected with boxes and stunt bags, and there was no place that he could go astray. But again, my heart was in my mouth.
Doc did a great job. Boom, he hits the thing, and he flies it out there. He landed right where we wanted him to land. Oh, wow, gosh, that was big.
Mick and Richard Donner met up again on the set of Maverik.
Wait, we gotta try this little change.
Just hang on.
I don't want anybody to get hurt.
I'll just go on the same train.
Get your head right here. So it doesn't hide his face.
Donner was looking for a stagecoach rescue so daring that only a select few had ever attempted it before.
How's that, Ray?
Mick, doubling Mel Gibson as Brett Maverick, falls under the runaway stage, climbs up the back, and then jumps through 3 teams of galloping horses to bring the speeding coach to a halt. This dangerous stunt was first performed in 1938 by legendary stuntman Yakima Canutt for the adventure serial Zorro's Fighting Legion. Canutt made movie history by dropping under 4 stampeding horses and the runaway coach, and then climbing back on board. The following year, Canutt repeated the stunt with 6 horses in the Western classic Stagecoach. Stagecoach rescues became a staple of Western movies, but for 40 years, no one was able to duplicate Canutt's daring acrobatics. Until the big screen version of The Legend of the Lone Ranger in 1980, when stuntman Terry Leonard attempted the maneuver with disastrous results.
I got down to the swing team, and they kind of got out of position and pulled me under the wheels, and the rear wheel of the coach ran over both my legs. I was scared to look at my legs. I thought they were cut off. So I was mad that it didn't go right. I was really, really upset.
4, sheet metal sliding through the window as he is, not maybe not so much, and you could get this.
When Richard Donner decided to adapt this famous stunt for Mavericks, he hired Terry Leonard as second unit director.
He did this stunt that came very close to losing his life. So if anybody's going to make this safe in my eyes, it's going to be Terry Leonard.
Well, that thing didn't work.
It should just be there, waiting to go.
Yeah.
No one was happier with that decision than Mick Rogers.
He's been hurt, and he doesn't want to see me get hurt. But he and I think alike. You know, we want to be wild. We want to be Western, and within control. We want people to just sit up and go, geez, I can't believe they're doing that.
On location in Page, Arizona, Terry and Mick encounter what will become an ongoing problem.
We got to make this look like a stagecoach road. Okay, this is it, eh?
The soft, sandy roads make running extremely difficult for the horses and perilous for Mick.
There's a lot of little enemies under there for you. You got 24 sets of hooves pounding, and you got 6 horses, and you've got the 2 coach wheels that become like knives. There's an inherent amount of danger in it, because not only you're thinking for yourself, you're trying to outsmart the animal. Wait, whoa! All right.
Mick has trained for 2 months to build his strength for this scene.
Just hanging with my hands and doing the squat thrust and trying to get good spring in my legs, you know. I was ready, and I knew exactly what I was going to be doing.
Controlling the horses from inside the coach will be world champion wagon driver Tommy Glass. Three cameras will record the sequence.
Figure out your timing before you get into it and start making a move up the back so we got something to move into. Can you do that?
Okay.
Okay, everyone get ready.
Mick and Terry check the monitor and see that the first part of the scene is successful.
Like a monkey on there.
I think I gave it a good swipe, you know, right?
Oh, yeah. That'll work. Whoops. Very good, very good, very good. Take a look at that.
But now comes the hardest part of the sequence, jumping between 3 teams of horses.
Once you put yourself in air as you leave the coach, they could do anything. They could just stop. One tripped and fall in the team, it's a wreck. You know, nobody gets out alive. It's that serious.
Planks are suspended between each team, giving Mick a place to land between jumps.
Okay, if you don't mind me peeking over the top of the coach, and just as I see...
Mick can't wear a safety harness during the shot because it might tangle in the horse's reins.
Action!
The stunt goes well until one of the horses stumbles in the sand.
Left lead horse, he put his nose in the dirt for about 30 feet. I was waiting for the coach to land on me, and it had been a hell of a wreck.
Mick had this incredible instinct and strength. He actually grabs the horse and pulls him back onto his feet. And I saw it, then my heart stopped. In my mind, God forbid anything happened, I had Mick Rogers' life on my hands.
Oh, geez, I cried with pride. I thought it was great because it could have been a real mess. And I saw him yank hold of the horses and just drag them up. Sounds like Pecos Bill or something, but he just reacted like instinctively in making sure he didn't get turned into some street pizza.
For Mick Rogers, the reaction that matters most comes from the man who had done this stunt himself.
That looks slick.
I walked over to Terry, and he pulls his sunglasses off. He goes, do you know how close you came? And I said, yeah, I know. He goes, oh, well, you know. I mean, that's enough said. I mean, there's between him and me, there's, you know, it came close, okay, it didn't, so what? You know, go on.
We'll live with that. But...
At the completion of that stunt that is so historically famous, to be one of the few guys in the history of the film business that has pulled that off successfully and as spectacularly as Mick did. There was a lot of hoorahs after that.
Mick Rogers and Terry Leonard have improved on a classic to capture a magic moment of Western heroism on film.